When are the rest of the XRP ETFs going live? And we're talking about the spot ETFs based here in the United States that no longer have to be signed off by the SEC. By removing the delay amendment on their S1s, they can start that 20-day countdown. This is how Canary Capital was able to bring their Litecoin, HBAR, Bitwise, and Grayscale brought Solana ETFs to the market while the government was shut down. And this is how Canary brought their XRP ETF live last week on November 13th. So a lot of people are expecting Franklin Templeton to go live. I don't know where that information came from. I took the time this morning to go to the SEC website, the Edgar database, pull up all of these filings, and we got the timeline for you. Now, if you appreciate this content that we put out on a daily basis, I just ask that you like this video, help share it out far and wide, and make sure you have subscribed, hit that notification bell. This video in particular will be a good one to share out so that our community gets the timeline down and we can set our expectations. We don't want to set folks up for failure, which I unfortunately think is what some of the clickbaiters are doing out here. Updated spot XRP ETF launch dates. Now, before I get into this, the SEC could come out and just sign off on the remaining 6 spot ETFs and make them all go live tomorrow. That could happen, right? The SEC, while they were shut down, they provided this guidance saying, hey, if you remove the delay clause, you can start a 20-day countdown and you can effectively go live without our final approval. So once again, this is how those other ETFs went live. And now we're watching to see these other 20-day countdowns expire. And I'm going to show you what those dates are. Canary is already live, went live on November 13th. Bitwise will be next on November 20th. Grayscale could go live November 23rd. That's when the 20-day countdown would expire after they filed on November 3rd, but that would be a Sunday. So November 23rd is a Sunday. This is why I expect Grayscale to go live November 24th with Franklin Templeton, who filed on November 4th. Their 20-day countdown will expire on November 24th as well. So we get kind of a staggered launch here with Bitwise ready to go live this Friday, November 20th. Next week, we will be watching for Grayscale and Franklin to go live on Monday, November 24th. On the same day, that would be big. Franklin Templeton, $1 trillion assets under management. And I put to be decided or determined on Wisdom Tree 21 shares and CoinShares because all 3 of these issuers have failed to update their filings properly to start the 20-day countdown. Now, if you recall, because I have the S1s from both Bitwise and Canary Capital right here. Canary filed this one on October 24th, 20 days after that, November 13th. And the language that you need to include in your filing says, this registration statement shall hereafter become effective in accordance with the provisions of Section 8A of the Securities Act of 1933. I almost have this statement memorized because I've read it off so many times at this point. So that's the language that needs to be included. And you have Bitwise and CoinShares, which both updated their filings on October 10th, but they did not include the language. And then even 21 shares updated their S1 on November 7th, but they didn't include the proper language. I don't know who their lawyers are or who made that call, but somebody might need to get checked on that one, unless they just want to leave money on the table. Because 21 shares literally updated their S1 on November 7th, but didn't include the proper language. So Bitwise did, and they filed on October 31st. 20 days after that is going to be November 20th, which is why I say the earliest that Bitwise could go live would be this Friday, November 20th. And I'll show you the filing right here. Just taking a quick look. Up top there you see, this is from Bitwise, XRP ETF, filed on October 31st, 2025. Okay? Now we slide on over here to Grayscale. Now you'll see up here at the top, Grayscale filed this amendment number 2 to their S1 on November 3rd, 2025. And if we scroll on down here, you'll see that they did include the proper language right here, down at the bottom in that bold right here. This registration statement, yada, 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 you know the language now. Okay? So we slide on over here. This is from the Edgar database. And what you see here is the last filings. I double checked on the Edgar website to see if there was any other filings from Grayscale. And you see the dates over here. They updated on August 22nd, 2025, October 10th, and then on November 3rd. So their 20-day countdown is going to expire on November 23rd, but that's a Sunday. Expecting them to go live on November 24th, that Monday, right alongside their good friends at Franklin Templeton. And this is the filing here from Franklin Templeton. As you can see, it was updated on November 4th, Franklin XRP ETF. So they'll be ready to go live Monday, November 24th. I don't know where the news or the date came tomorrow, the 18th, that was when they were going to go live. They filed on November 4th, updating the countdown. And the update before that was on October 10th. And I'll show you here on the SEC database. Here you have the Franklin XRP Trust, all of the S1s, all of the issuers. It seems like they updated on August 22nd and then again on October 10th. And I was confused because on October 10th, Canary had already updated their filing. Grayscale and Bitwise had updated their Solana filings. And so the word had started to circulate on what language to include to remove the delay amendment and the delay clause. But even though all of the issuers filed on October 10th, they didn't include the proper filings. Even Canary didn't get their updated XRP ETF filing out until the 24th of October. So they got the jump on Litecoin, HBAR. Bitwise and Grayscale got the update on Solana, but then Canary was the first one to update on the 24th of October, which didn't really make sense to me. But once again, this is from the SEC database, and you can see the last filing on the Franklin XRP Trust was November 4th. So they'll be ready to go live on November 24th. Sliding on over here to Wisdom Tree, their last filing is October 10th, 2025. I'll slide on over here to the database on Edgar just to show you guys what I'm talking about. See, we're at the S1 filing right here. Slide on over, and you can see the last dates. October 10th was the last update from Wisdom Tree. So Wisdom Tree has not updated. Okay, let me slide back over here, and let's go. This is actually the SEC database, just to double check. Edgar and the SEC database, no update on the Wisdom Tree XRP ETF. So they have failed to update and start the 20-day countdown. Now, here's what's so interesting. 21 shares files on November 7th, 2025. We scroll down, but they do not include the proper language. This is not the right language down here that you see in bold, right? That leaves the delay in effect, right? So I don't understand this. Who are the lawyers at 21 shares? I mean, who's on the team here that allowed this to happen? If I was running this firm, there would be some problems, okay? Because you're leaving serious money on the table. So Wisdom Tree failed to update. 21 shares failed to update. And here's the website too, just to confirm their last filing here, November 7th. And I just showed you the S1, doesn't have the proper language. So they have failed to update and start the 20-day countdown. Now, sliding on over here next, let's go to CoinShares, which is the last remaining spot XRP ETF. So taking a look here at the top of this one, October 10th, 2025, CoinShares XRP ETF. Let's slide on over here to the Edgar database, and you will see that the last filing was there on October 14th, which really the filing was submitted on October 10th. Looks like it just didn't make it into the Edgar database till the 14th, but neither here nor there because they didn't include the proper language. So once again, back to the timeline. And you can see that I verified all this at the SEC database and the Edgar website as well. Bitwise will be live Friday, November 20th. Grayscale and Franklin on November 24th, next Monday. Going to be a good one next week. And then Wisdom Tree, 21 shares, and CoinShares are completely behind. Some people are sharing the volatility XRP ETFs. Those are leveraged products. So those are 2X ETFs. And I believe those are already live, actually. Tucrium was the first XRP leveraged ETF that went live in April. And then the first kind of, it is a spot ETF, but it's not through the 33 Act. It was through the 40 Act. That was the Rex Osprey that launched back in September. So it holds a portion of spot XRP and then the other portion is in ETPs out of Europe. So, Wall Street has so many different ways to wrap this thing up and sell it. I mean, we've learned so much about ETFs and the filing process and the laws around this, during this whole process. But just to clarify, because there's so much confusion out there, I wanted to make this video with the updated timelines. All of the filings are here, and you guys can go look for yourself if you want to. But this is what I found, and this is the dates that I have. Once again, Bitwise Friday, Grayscale Franklin next Monday, Wisdom Tree 21 shares and CoinShares haven't updated, but they could be saved if the SEC just came out and decided, hey, we're signing off on all of them today. Go live, have fun, and pump your XRP up. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I also want to mention that I do not expect a sell the news event to take place on these remaining ETFs. I think that the big sell the news event that we got just took place. There's a CME gap down at about 92,000 that we're filling right now on the charts as we speak. We're coming back down. Not a big deal. Okay. XRP's now entered a new reality with our ETFs here, and we warned about the sell the news pullback. And I'm reminding you again that the sell the news pullback on the ETFs was the best buying opportunity in the past 2 years to buy Bitcoin at 38,000 before it ran up to 120,000, to buy Ethereum 40% after that pullback before it ran up 130%. So the best times in the past couple years to buy these assets is on the sell the news pullback after their ETFs go live, which is right what we're in the middle of. So guess who's still adding to their XRP long at these levels? But you guys help me out by sharing this one out far and wide. We want to provide that clarity to the community. If you appreciate what we're doing, make sure you like the video, share it out far and wide, and all of our community resources are available at zachrector.com. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.